Hello, everybody, and welcome to Cinema Roulette. So, today is going to be fun, ladies and gentlemen, because we have no fucking idea when this is going to come out. It's just going to come out sometime in our playlist somewhere.
I can't believe we watched Perry the Platypus the movie last time.
Dude, it was amazing. You guys have no idea.
You should really listen to that episode. Great episode.
Oh, Lord. Yeah, it was just so good. It was like almost as good as Promare. You have no idea.
What do you mean? It doubled Promare's perfection.
The Perry the Platypus movie, the underdog, ladies and gentlemen.
Talking about race issues, LGBTQ issues, talking about all politics across the world.
And it did it so well.
Enough for a child to understand.
Oh, my God.
And that crossover with Lilo and Stitch, the series?
Dude.
Holy shit.
And they just announced a Blu-ray release of the whole series. It's amazing. But yeah, so today we are doing another topic episode. You guys know what it is. We have no idea. We're about to spin that wheel. Do you want to say the topics beforehand or not?
No.
All right, well, let's do this.
They change it. This is a wheel that never stays the same, really. Some are off, some are on.
Yep.
It depends on what we're willing to talk about when we record.
Yes, so
Or if we remember stuff that we said in an episode.
We did that with Jacob's Ladder, and we don't remember what it is, so you won't be hearing that this time. We're sorry, ladies and gentlemen.
We are it's like July 5th, isn't it?
Or it's the 6th now. But
yeah, we're recording this on July 6th.
Yeah. It'll be the
2020,
7th.
in case it's somehow next year when this comes out.
It'll be the 7th tomorrow, so that's exciting.
Yep, okay. And spin. Oh, we were so close to Marvel.
Thank fuck. What did we land on?
We're going to talk about toxicity in the film buff community.
Now, see, that is a topic we just added today. Actually, we just remembered, hey, we should talk about that.
Mere moments ago.
Yes, so...
Okay, now, I said film buffs, which is kind of calling out a group, but... It
just happens in all sorts of different film groups and stuff on Facebook, online, on Reddit, on forums, wherever the hell you join a bunch of film groups. Basically, this is just the toxic shit that people do in the film community.
And it's so fucking annoying.
It's annoying, and it's really pretentious, and it's just for people who love films like us, it's just, we see this in the community, and it's just not a good representation of what films should be, because it's like, you should watch films and enjoy films on your own merit, not because someone tells you to,
Don't hit the goddamn tape.
Not because someone tells you to, you're shoving it down your throat, like Star Wars or Martin Scorsese or something, like, you have to watch this or else you're not a film person. Fuck you.
So I have a feeling you want to start with gatekeeping.
We're starting with gatekeeping, because that annoys the piss out of me.
For those who don't know, gatekeeping is basically when you're like, oh, you can't join our group because you haven't done blank and blank.
Yeah.
Which, I'm going to keep using the term film buffs because that's a solid term for people who enjoy movies.
I'm just going to post this in the film buffs thing.
Oh. Hi. I don't know how I feel about this now.
That's what I'm saying.
Fuck it.
You do realize you're very active in that group.
I am, yes, because I like that more than Film Club, because Film Club is run by assholes.
Yeah.
I don't care if I get banned from that one. But no, this is just some of the shit you see.
We're not calling... Well, we did call it a specific group, but we're more referring just to film buff groups in general in this one, so...
It's also... Again, it's just a good term.
Yeah.
But, okay. The gatekeeping I have seen, and... this is from one specific person where I was like, you're an idiot, is people were talking about different reviewers they watch online. And they said they would not listen to, I forget who, but it was like, they didn't watch Scorsese films until last year. It's like, dude, there's over 1,000 movies released every year.
Yeah.
So if you don't watch, Scorsese,
I guess he's not.
Your opinion doesn't matter.
Or like he only watched it a year ago. It's like you had to have watched these at least several years ago to watch it. What the fuck kind of sense does that make?
You cannot appreciate film until after you watch every classic film ever made.
Yeah. Who the fuck has time for that? We have lives, motherfucker.
Well, no, also, that just means you're going to view films different.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say like, oh, if you watch The Godfather, nothing will change about how you view film. No, your opinion is going to change. It always will as you watch movies.
Yeah.
But being like, you have to watch these specific movies before you can say anything that matters.
It's such a dumb fucking thing, and it's something that's really unfair, frankly. It's like, yeah, okay, yeah, we get it. You want to suck Martin Scorsese off really badly, but it's like, we're here to talk about films. We're not here to talk about, like, you know, films that are classics or people that people have to see or something. If they don't want to talk about it, don't force them to talk about it.
And I will admit, I have snobbiness when I see someone say like, "Oh, my favorite movie of all time is, you know, one of the most recent things in theaters."
Yeah.
But I'm not going to be like, "Well, your opinion doesn't matter to me." It's like, if you have a point, I'll listen.
It's just, especially film people are like this too. It's like, you know, you do realize we can agree to disagree, right? People are welcome to their opinion. You know, there reaches a point where it's like, what the hell, you're clearly wrong. But at the same time, I'm not going to be like, your opinion doesn't matter at all unless it's, you know, something really fucking stupid. Unless it's like consistently stupid. But
there are people that I will hard realize that I do not agree with because I will be judgmental on Letterboxd at times.
Yeah.
And I admit this, where I will be like, okay, what do you rate a half star? If I see stuff where it's like, Wonder Woman, half a star out of 5. Like, okay, I understand not liking a movie. But when I see all you do is like, every mainstream film is half a star.
Yeah.
And anything made by a director from the 70s is 10 out of 10, the perfect movie.
Oh, I know.
You're being pretentious.
You really are.
Actually, I think that's getting into elitism rather than
well, it's still it kind of goes hand in hand, really.
That's why it's all in one topic.
Yeah. Well, really it does, because that is elitism in a sense. It's like, you know, you haven't seen these movies. You're not a real film
You're not a real film buff.
Yeah.
And I just don't get it with some people. It's like, oh, you haven't seen this. Okay. Have you seen the film Paprika? No, I would never watch animation. It's like, okay, so you're telling people can't have their opinion because they don't watch the movies you like, but you're going to completely throw away a genre because it doesn't suit you. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it annoys the piss out of me when people do that, honestly. So it's like that. There's this one chick from work who will not be named. I know I've told you this story, but I may as well just reiterate on her. Because we're huge anime fans, me and Justin, but she was also an anime fan, and like at work she constantly called me like, "Oh, you're such a normie and you like normie animes," or something like that, because like what was it? It was because I watched them dubbed instead of subbed. And it was because like, oh, I didn't watch anime as it came out. I'm such a normie.
It's like, how dare you try to catch up, fucker.
And then it's like, I was just like, okay, so what's your favorite anime series? Oh, Fairy Tail. It's like, you can't call me out for being a normie and then put like the most mainstream series as your favorite series. And I was like, oh, okay, well, have you seen Paranoia Agent? No.
It's like,
oh yeah, I'm the normie here.
And also, normie is a term that I will only use ironically.
Yeah, it's such a dumb term.
Like, it's like, oh, my favorite horror movie. Oh, what's a generic one that has come out? Because I don't want to say like Get Out or something. My favorite horror movie is Paranormal Activity. Yeah. Oh, he's a normie.
I know, right?
If that is your favorite horror movie, good for you.
That's fine. It's like, basically, it's like, okay, if you disagree with someone, don't be a fucking asshole about it. Don't be a pretentious asshat. It all boils down to just don't do that.
That's also something that happens in film groups a lot, is someone will ask a question. It's like, what's your favorite movie where it shouldn't work, but it does? Mm-hmm. That was one post actually recently as recording.
Yeah.
And I put It Follows, because that movie, without like giving it away or explain the plot too much, is The Ring Girl, but it's an STD.
It's something on paper that sounds so stupid.
And all the person replies to me is just, "Oh, I hated that movie." It's like, cool, dude.
Cool.
Neat. I think we'll get to I don't know if I want to like get to it now and keep this free flow.
Mm-hmm.
No, I'll just get to it now.
Just get to it now. You may as well.
If you don't like something, you don't have to say it. But if you also are going to say it, explain.
Yeah. Give us a reason as to why you're just shooting us down.
Yeah. I'm open to hearing why you don't enjoy It Follows. That's fine. It's not a movie for everyone.
I'm probably gonna disagree with you, but if you say it, eloquently, not like an asshole, and just explain why you didn't like it, okay, I could see maybe why.
It's like, I didn't get into it, it was too slow, and it wasn't that the idea was too silly.
Uh-huh.
Simple enough, fine. Or I seen the reverse, where someone, it was a talk about how to rate Pixar movies. Like, someone showed their tier list, and everyone was saying where they would move things. And it was like, Cars isn't honestly that creative, and it wasn't that interesting in movies. They should be closer to a bomb. And someone was telling me I was wrong for disliking Cars because it was their top 3.
Fucking really?
I'm like, okay, it's your top 3, not mine.
Yeah, it's Cars. Come on.
No, you can like Cars.
Yeah.
I'll be fair. You can like Cars, whatever. But it's when it's just like, no, your opinion is wrong because it doesn't agree with mine.
No, yeah.
Fuck off.
It's called an opinion. That's why it's called that.
And, he didn't explain why he enjoyed Cars.
He just kept saying, oh, well, it's my top 3.
It was
How
like,
dare you?
He sends me his Letterboxd list where it's like, those are his top 3. And I'm like, okay, what does this prove? If you're trying to tell me, critically speaking, Cars is a better movie than this.
Yeah.
You're gonna need to explain more than just, I like it.
Yeah. Basically.
Talk it out, honestly.
Yeah. And it's just, I don't know. I see that shit happen. I see people get all worked up about it. I'm just like, when it boils down to it, it's a fucking movie.
It's a movie.
It's there for entertainment. And yes, it is art. And yes, it is meant to be discussed. But when you're all getting all up in arms because someone hasn't seen a classic or something like that, it's like, calm the fuck down. I don't have time for that shit.
I should honestly stop asking what movie I should watch in Film Buffs.
Is it all mainstream stuff?
No, because I'll put up a poll, and it's like it's usually movies I own because I still have a bunch of DVDs to get through that I haven't seen. But if there is a classic movie on there, that wins. Instantly. The only time that hasn't happened is when I put Arrival on there. That won over the Maltese Falcon.
Wow.
And the original Dawn of the Dead.
That's a surprise.
Yeah, I was like, oh, I didn't see that one coming.
Yeah. But it's always a classic movie.
If there is a classic film on there, that's first. That is the one you must watch.
Yeah. And there's another kind of side topic, but goes along with it, is that what annoys me is I've argued with several people about this is, posting spoilers about films. There are people who will do that. And there are people who will only use the logic, oh, Willie, you should have seen that by now.
Oh, yeah, this is a toxic part of the community. This could make an entire topic episode, but...
I say we go into that.
Okay, because jumping around is fun.
Yeah, well, it's just free-flow conversation. Just felt natural to go next.
But I hate that fucking excuse of oh, it's 5 years old. I haven't seen every movie I wanted to see from last year.
Yeah. Have you seen every fucking movie ever made?
Oh, I forgot, Internet. I saw every movie since 1888.
Yep. You got that correct. Good job.
I looked it up earlier.
Oh, did you?
I did, actually.
Cheating bitch. No, I'm kidding.
Well, I did. Yes, because I knew which episode we were going to land on, and which movie from the last episode we were going to land on, so I knew we were doing the topic.
Good job.
I can predict the future.
1888, the Round Table Garden Scene by Louis Le Prince. First movie ever made.
Fucking show off.
Yep. But yeah, no, fucking, it's I hated that, and I argued with someone on Twitter about this because they posted spoilers it was about a video game or something, and he's like, oh, you mean that part when this happens? It's like, okay, I get it, just don't post spoilers, dude. He's like, oh, well, why not? You should have played it by now. And he was just being a fucking dick about it.
And I understand if you're in a film group, you want to talk spoilers. You know how many seconds it takes to write spoiler warnings for this at the top part. That's all you need to do, and most people will be like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah. And I brought that up when talking with him. He's like, okay, if you're going to put spoilers, put spoiler warning. It takes 2 seconds. He's like, oh, it doesn't really matter. The fucking idiot.
It's like,
it takes 2 minutes to write spoiler warning. It's not that fucking hard. That's why we do it at the beginning of every single one of our episodes.
Yeah, that's why even in our top 10 performances list,
yeah,
when we realized we were talking a bit much about movies that people might not have seen, we put a spoiler warning.
Yes. We do that even for, old movies, or like movies like Jaws or Star Wars that you would think most people would see. We still do it. It doesn't fucking matter because not everyone has seen every movie ever made. It annoys me. So just be respectful, basically. That really annoys me.
Don't be shitty.
Really, that just annoys the piss out of me.
Which watch now as some really funny people are gonna put spoilers in the comments because they're super funny and clever.
Oh, I'm sure. Haha, we know you, internet. Come on.
Or they post fake spoilers because that's funny.
Yeah. Oh my god.
But there's nothing. Honestly, this is going to be a gatekeeping thing.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It ties in. So.
Well, no, this will be like I just shit talk gatekeeping, but this will sound like a gatekeep. You are not really a film fan if you don't understand that feeling of going into a movie completely blind and having it just fucking hard hit you.
Exactly. Like, that's the thing, is like that if it's really such a good movie, let the person enjoy it.
Like, I do understand also how good a film should. It's a lot better when a film is able to have a twist known and still be rewatchable.
Yes.
Like the film Memento, once you sit through that once, you're good.
Yeah.
It's a great film. It's just there's not much rewatchability.
Same with Gone Girl, which we reviewed. You can sit through that once. And it's great. The twist and stuff is great in it, but it's just one you can only watch once. But
and now Expecting Ninjas.
Yeah. But no, it's that. You're right. If you know the film's twist, like Fight Club, for instance, if you know the twist and we can still watch it over and over.
Yeah. I did go in knowing the twist, so I still had fun. Yeah. But I would have really enjoyed it if I didn't know that twist.
Yeah. And that's the thing. And that's why Your Name was so good, because we went in completely blind to that.
Yeah,
and it just hit us.
Your Name hits hard.
Oh, man. That hits like a ton of bricks.
There's something so much more enjoyable about the ride when you don't know what twists and turns are coming next.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so just let them experience that. No, I have to agree with you. Like, you're not... Just I don't know. I was going to words, but I had 2 thoughts going at once, and I just shut up. But, yeah. If you really respect film and the art of film and the time and effort that it takes to put together a film, and if you respect, the people enjoy how much enjoyment you get out of a film, let other people do the same, basically.
Yeah. And the same goes for video games too, or TV shows.
Even ones which are
TV shows so hard.
And I'll bring this up too. This is another fun little side thing we can talk about. It seems that TV spoilers are just fair game.
Yeah, we won't. You know what? I'll be kind, even though the internet wanted to meme it to death. I won't do the spoiler
because there was a spoiler in Walking Dead in particular that, like, the day the episode aired, everyone talked about this death. Everyone memed it. Oh, did you know Bebe dies? Oh, Bebe died. Oh, you know what? Look at this. Here's an image of him dying, memed and all that. The day that it came out. And yet, with Marvel movies, everyone's like, oh no, we all have to wait a month before doing the spoiler, just so we don't spoil it.
Don't spoil Endgame. Even though I predicted the ending, I will admit, this is me being cocky, but I predicted the ending in a class, and I pointed out, like, oh, this person is going to go. And whoever, my classmate who I was talking to was just like, what makes you think that? I'm like, okay, this, and this.
Yeah.
And then just the look in her eyes was just like, oh, shit.
Yeah. Should we spoil Endgame or not?
No, I'm being nice.
Yeah, we're being nice, but and the thing about that is it was really obvious how they were going to solve everything.
But he may be like, okay, well, you just said you spoiled something. Here's the thing. Disney has announced the next 5 years of Marvel movies. They spoiled it them day.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say it right now. But we were in the conversation, and that's where it led. They didn't tell me no stop or anything. If they did, I would.
Yeah. But here's the thing, like, you know how they're going... It's obvious how they're going to fix the issue. But the thing is, like, they've announced, like... Because they've announced for the next 5 years, it's like, oh, here's Ant-Man 3, or Black Panther 2, or this next movie. Well, we know they survive.
Oh, no. Oh, no, this character died. Too bad there's 2 sequels already announced for them.
They kind of spoiled it themselves, so the tension there is kind of gone.
Still, we're being kind of... And look at us. We're still able to not spoil it.
It's
I'm here.
not that hard to do, guys. Even though the internet has spoiled a lot of things, then yeah, obviously. But we're still going to be nice just in case you haven't seen Endgame, or just in case you haven't watched The Walking Dead. Like, you know, everyone on the internet expects you to have seen every episode.
Well, it's a popular show, so you must watch it. It's not like you could have a night job.
I know.
Not like you could possibly not be into the show and then find it years later.
Yeah, no. That annoyed the piss out of me because I went on a whole rant about that on Facebook. I'm sure you remember that. Yeah. I just went on a whole rant like, I'm like, I don't even like the show, but I was basically just calling out people. I'm like, you know, there are people that aren't either A, aren't caught up with the show, B, probably, you know, haven't even watched it or want to get into it. But now, thanks to you assholes, it's ruined.
Honestly.
Like, the day after. Like, the day it airs. I guess TV shows don't matter as much as movies or something. But still, it's just annoyed me.
Well, or it's because mainstream... The normies. Or in mainstream, with like, films besides Endgame.
Yeah.
Like, Fast and the Furious. I wonder what's going to happen.
Gee.
It's not exactly stuff with big twists a lot of the time. So in movies, there isn't much to spoil. It's like, the good guys win. Holy shit. What a shock.
I know.
But on TV, people usually gather around the interesting stuff. Mm-hmm. And then they decide, oh, I'm just going to talk about this fucking everywhere.
Yeah.
I'm so happy I didn't get into Game of Thrones because I would have been pissed.
Oh, yeah. The internet did not give a fuck about that.
Until the series finale that everyone loved.
Yeah, they did not give a fuck about spoilers of that. It really pissed me off.
Also, I'm sure we sound like real tough guys when we say we wrote stuff out on Facebook and Twitter.
Oh, I know. It's just something I felt needed said, basically. Yeah, that just, I can't say.
There's a nice tangent on the spoil. Just don't.
Just don't, basically. Just be nice. Don't act all pretentious and be like, oh, well, if you're a real film person, you would have seen that. But now, fuck you.
What do you mean you haven't watched The Godfather? Don't you know about this scene? It's like, oh, thanks for the spoiler, buddy. Now I have more reason to sit through a near 3-hour movie.
No, right. God.
Oh, that level of... This is bouncing back, because that gatekeeping just bugs the shit.
Oh, I know.
I also find it so pretentious when because some people will be new to the groups or the forums, wherever you are, and they're just wanting to get into film.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
But they like mainstream stuff.
Okay.
And they are like, oh, I really enjoyed Joker last year.
Yeah.
Okay. But then people decide to tear him down, and it's like, how could that be your favorite movie? That's a stupid choice. That's so generic. And then it's like, my favorite movie is The Godfather Part 2. My favorite movie is Citizen Kane. You mean the most obvious fucking film buff choice? Mm-hmm. Don't be going around telling people, oh, you're being such a normie.
Oh, yeah. Like, and then do, like, the most obvious fucking choice.
Hi, I'm hypocritical.
Yeah. Jesus Christ.
Oh, yeah? What's your favorite movie? It's Premiere. In case you're wondering, it's Premiere.
For now, yeah.
It's going to be hard to beat.
It is going to be hard to beat, yes.
But also, when Joker was making the rounds on Blu-ray, there was a lot of people like debating if it was good or wasn't bad, or if it was bad.
It didn't look like the kind of movie for me, but I can absolutely respect what they were going for.
Yeah. Oh, but it steals from Scorsese.
Of course it does. Films take from each other all the time.
Yeah. And also, the thing that I kept bringing up in the comments was, it allows the mainstream crowd, the normies, to watch something and they enjoy it. Yeah. And it's like, and then you are able to come in and be like, hey, if you like this movie, you'll enjoy The King of Comedy, or
Yes.
you'll enjoy Taxi Driver. And that allows them to get more into classic cinema, or even cult cinema, and they can become more part of the community rather than you just being like, oh, you're such a normie, stay out.
I know. Yeah, it's like if you enjoyed this, then recommend movies like it. It's like if you enjoyed that kind of style, that kind of grittiness, that Scorsese look and stuff, and the themes it dealt with, maybe you could watch this, and it could introduce new fans to it instead of like basically forcing them to do it and saying, "Oh, well, how dare you?"
Oh, you watched Joker before you saw Taxi Driver? You're not a real film buff.
Fuck you.
You're not a real film nerd.
Yeah, it's those kinds of people. I just feel, and I know this is kind of me being mean, but it's like I feel like they're not really film fans if they're fucking doing
Gatekeeping.
It's gatekeeping. It's stupid. If you really loved film and loved the art, you would ease people into that and encourage them to dive deeper instead of being a dick about it.
Fuck, we have a gatekeeping paradox.
Don't we?
Because it's like, in order to gatekeep, you must not have gatekeep. It's like the tolerance paradox. In order to have a tolerant society, you have to be intolerant to intolerance.
Ha!
In order to not have gatekeeping in a fandom, you must gatekeep gatekeepers.
It's just basically don't be a dick about it. Like, it encourage people. Be positive. That's how you can tell. It's like if someone's being positive about it. I think, honestly.
Yeah.
I think that's the difference, is that if they're encouraging people to dive deeper, or you might like this, or you might like that based on what you liked. So instead of just being a dick and being like, oh, well, you're stupid for not having seen this.
I do just also hate comments. Because we already brought this up, but
Yeah.
I hate people who give no explanation. Like, I asked for Bollywood suggestions because I have not watched anything from Bollywood.
Yeah, and here's the thing about Bollywood is it's really hard to get into just because there's the sheer amount of movies that comes out of India is ridiculous.
I think they make like 10 times more films than Hollywood
It's like
every year.
I heard like 3 times more than Hollywood. It's probably more than that now. But
I was like, okay, where do I start? And there was just one person who said, don't. It's like,
why?
why not?
Yeah.
Like, okay. Why? I can enjoy foreign films.
Yes.
I'm perfectly fine with reading subtitles.
Yeah.
Is it because I'll get sucked in, or is it because you've had a bad experience with Bollywood?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, and I still don't know where to start. Just because there's so fucking much.
If I remember correct, hold on, I'll double check the title.
Mm-hmm.
One main suggestion I got was a Bollywood film called 3 Idiots.
Okay.
That's the main thing. That's the main one I saw on a lot of lists.
Okay.
A comedy romance. Oh, it's on Netflix right now.
Oh, cool.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I broke flow. I'm sorry.
It's fine.
I'm trying to think of. There is also. Do we want to get into the really bad people of a?
Let's go. Is that what you have to say about like the surface level idiots? Anything else you can think of? Any other things that they do that annoy you?
No. Just
right.
besides the hypocrisy and stuff.
Just the hypocrisy, negativity, and just general dicketry and pretentiousness.
And we talked about this a bit in our essay video when we got to the really bad fucking essays.
Mm-hmm.
Just the sexist people. You know the ones I'm talking
Just
about.
straight sexism. Yeah, just sexism or racism or anti-LGBT, stuff like that.
Yeah, they're not... I will give film buffs this. I don't see these people often.
Yeah.
They're usually stuck in their own little corner elsewhere, or they only come up when something very specific is brought up in the group, and admins handle it very well.
Yeah. And the main thing we covered in our video essays one was toxic masculinity.
Oh, that one's... Okay, I've told you about this guy already, but because at the time there was an article going around about the Academy becoming more diverse, which brought out all the shitty people.
Really?
Oh, it did. There was one guy who was like, who cares? The Academy isn't relevant, but also I want people to join on merit.
Okay.
I love that argument because that immediately implies that anyone who's diverse has no merit being in the Academy.
Yeah,
Nice implication, buddy.
Ridiculous, frankly.
Or I was showing my support, being like, no, I'm happy to see more diversity because films are a group project. So having more diversity in those groups allows for more creative stories, creative and interesting stories.
Because, I mean, the Academy Awards in general, it took forever even to get them to this point, so...
Yeah, and they need to speed things up because if I remember correctly, like 2 or 3 years ago, I did a paper on the diversity in the Academy, and the rate they were going, like 5% would have been more diverse after 10 years.
Jesus.
It still would have been like 95% white dudes.
That's ridiculous.
At the pace they were originally going, but now they're speeding things up. Which, cool, sure.
Yeah.
But the one guy who, bless him, just, this guy is like, fine, what's your top 300 movies? I bet there's not women in there. It's like, I admit I've not seen many female directors. I need to watch more. Which, yeah, there's a lot of movies out there. And also, just saying, when most of them are made by men, and I was watching at complete random, yeah, the pool's gonna be a bit... It's good.
Because, I mean, spoiler alert, Hollywood is heavily skewed towards men.
Surprise!
There's a lot wrong with the industry in that manner, still to this day.
Which also, there's a fun list on Letterboxd of every female-directed film, which I'm happily going to go off of for a bit.
Like, the only female director to get any, like, mainstream recognition is Catherine Bigelow, really.
Yeah.
And she's married to James Cameron, so...
And there's always the one, like, the director of The Farewell got a good amount of credit. Yeah, I'm trying to think of... It's also very hard to remember them off the top of your head. And I apologize.
It's just, there's so few and far between. Like, we try our damnedest. Like, when we went into... Because we have a wheel of directors and director favorites. We went in there trying to deliberately play, okay, let's get as many women on there as we can. So.
And for each director, we got 4 movies from them. You would not believe how hard it was to actually find female directors that have directed 4 movies.
It was ridiculous. Like, there are not that many out there, at least, that have made commercially released films. There's probably a bunch of indie directors and films that are, like, nigh impossible to find. But, like, films that have been commercially released and made money, there's really... The diversity in there is ridiculously low.
Oh, Birds of Prey was also... And Wonder Woman were both directed by women.
Yes, they were.
And then there's a bunch of film people who will hate those movies. I don't know why. Oh, that's a topic for another day.
Oh, yeah.
That's not really a toxic people thing. That's more of a question on why... that's what I wanted to put on the wheel. It was the question of why the hell people can't have... Where the argument of, it's just a popcorn movie, sit back and relax, has a line, because there's a really odd one where one movie is considered, this is fine, this is just a popcorn movie, don't take it seriously. And then one movie that sets that tone specifically, and it's like, fuck that movie's stupid.
Yeah, I know.
Anyway, let me circle back, because we went off on a tangent.
Yeah, a little bit.
Of the one guy, he's yelling at me that I probably haven't seen many female directors, thus I don't actually support them. Because you can't support... I don't understand that logic.
I do not get it. It's going above our heads because we're decent human beings.
Because I plan on watching their films?
What?
I'm a bad person?
Because I'm open to watching more films by female directors, so therefore I don't support... What?
Because I want them to get more work so I can watch more of their movies?
What's wrong with this? Why are you calling me out?
What's the call? And then when I ask him, he basically says like, I only watch Catherine Bigelow. Everyone else is too much of an emotional landscape.
Wow.
It's like, I'm sorry you're such a fucking loser that the idea of a movie giving you any sort of emotion is too much for you.
Isn't that the whole point of watching a movie?
No, he can only watch action movies, apparently.
I'm sorry your mother never hugged you as a child. Jesus Christ.
It's people like that where I'm just like, really?
Fucking idiot.
How do you make it through movies?
Yeah, actually. that's the whole point. That's what I love about watching movies and TV shows and anime especially is, I want that emotional stake. I want to feel emotional. I want to, cry and laugh and have these emotions. That's how you know it's a good movie.
I want the roller coaster to be a flat circle. That is all that happened. No, it's that fucking, you ever been to a pop-up carnival and they have the Green Dragon roller coaster? It's literally just a circle with one bump.
Yes.
That's what they want.
That's what they want.
That's their version of a movie.
Christ.
It's just, there's the excitement. Let's go around. And there it is again.
It's ridiculously stupid. It's toxic masculinity. It's just, I can't stand that in general.
I don't think that one counts as toxic masculinity. Well, because men are supposed to be
men are supposed to be tough, and we're supposed to only like action and guns in America. Fuck you.
We can't like those girl movies where they decide to have a meaningful relationship. Yeah. We need one-night stands and ribs and shotguns.
Fucking idiots, yeah.
I need a hang glide with my MP5K.
Yeah.
Take out Cuban terrorism.
In case you didn't know, you watched Escape from LA tonight. It's a fun fucking movie. I love that movie. It's nothing wrong with just having a good old fun movie. But yeah, it's like it's what I crave. I want there to be emotion. I want to feel something. I want to be invested in the story and what's going on,
There is also the bad people.
I'll go on. Let's continue.
We actually have one on the topic wheel about this where it's like, why can't things just be okay? But there's people in film forums and groups where it's just like, every film is either perfect and you cannot say anything otherwise, or it is a dumpster fire and no one should like it and you're an idiot and a normie if you do.
Isn't that a whole nother topic?
It is, but it is part of the community thing as well. It's just...
There is nothing wrong with just having a good movie. It's in general. Apparently, you can't... It's either a masterpiece or it's the worst movie ever made and should be born...
Here it's more of just like, people can have their own fucking opinion. It's not hard.
Yeah.
I'm sure you have your long list of reasons to hate it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sure you found every reason you hate Wonder Woman. But also... I think it's fine. I enjoyed the action. It gave me that little kid excitement when I watched it, of watching a cool superhero go in and take out an entire army.
It was fucking awesome. Yeah.
I mean, I admit the ending was not the best.
I still enjoyed it. It was silly, but yeah.
It was very comic book and really cheesy.
That's why it was great, though. It wasn't afraid to be cheesy. Because, DC Universe, I know it's getting off topic, was really dark and really, it had to be gritty and realistic. And Wonder Woman came along, hey, we can have fun, guys.
Honestly.
What?
If I heard someone.
Where were we originally again?
Just talking about people, or the people who just say, this is untouchable classic.
Yeah.
This happens anytime I mention I don't like Vertigo. And I don't.
Yeah, that's the kind of the reverse of that. Like, here's the thing. If someone else enjoys a movie that you don't enjoy, there's nothing wrong with that.
Again, ask for their opinion.
Yes. There's nothing... Who cares? How is that going to change your life in any way if someone enjoys something that you don't?
Oh no, they enjoy a movie that I hated.
Good for them. If they got enjoyment out of it, great. I couldn't, but if they did, great.
And you can happily fucking talk about it. It's like, oh, I liked it for these reasons. I didn't like it for these reasons.
We're all adults. We can have an adult conversation here, guys. We don't have to yell at each other.
I know you're hiding behind anonymity, but come on, talk like people.
Come on, guys. You can do it.
Those are just the worst people where it's like,
yeah.
No, you're wrong. The film was stupid. It's like, or that film is a masterpiece. How could you say such
How could you say that? Like, here's the thing. No, there are films that are close to perfect. There are films that are solid.
Scary Godmother.
Well, yeah.
Scary Godmother, Revenge of Jimmy.
Dude, obviously, I didn't even have to say that. But, I mean, Promare, Your Name, like, just movies like that, like, they're solid 10 out of 10s. And, great movies. Like, no movie is perfect, though. Every movie's going to have some flaws in it.
Or something that's, statistically speaking, every movie is someone's most hated film of all time. And statistically speaking, it's also someone's favorite.
Yeah. Like, you're not everyone's going to agree with you. Like, majority can agree with you, but, like, not... just because you think a film is perfect doesn't mean it's not open to criticism. Like, people are going to find things wrong with that. Listen to them. Don't just immediately shoot them down.
Unless they're just those people who like to say, unpopular opinion, this film is bad, and then run away as they get a bunch of comments.
Oh, yeah, I know.
It's like, you can just talk.
Yeah.
I don't know why we have entire groups and forums, and we hate talking.
Isn't that the whole point of having groups and forums, is to talk about stuff?
No. Film is... Eye of the Beholder is bullshit. I am the only one who is right. I've never disagreed with my own opinion.
Isn't that right, Past Justin?
Personally, I'm the best critic I've ever met. I've never disagreed with myself. Everything was perfect.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, there are films that are objectively fucking amazing films. But it's like, not everyone's going to like that. And not everyone's going to...
Well, I don't think objectively amazing, but more like, a classic will always have something to respect about it. There's a reason it's a classic.
Yes.
That does not mean you have to like it.
No, exactly. Like Citizen Kane, for example.
Citizen Kane, it set a bunch of new technical standards for film.
And you can respect it from that angle. Like the cinematography, the audio design, sound design, from a technical standpoint, it's super impressive.
Especially for the time.
Yeah.
The pacing, the fact that the editing still holds up to today's standards, that's also very impressive. If you do not like Citizen Kane and you find it boring, that is perfectly fine.
We just think it's a good film.
Yeah.
It's not a classic. It is not...
Well, but it's a classic.
It was a classic, but it's not the greatest film ever made, I don't think. Someone will probably think that. If you like Citizen Kane's number one, great, but...
We're going back to my opinion on Virgo. I get it. I enjoy... The tension? Yeah. Sure. The use of color? Yeah. Masterful.
The cinematography.
Cinematography is great, minus the car scenes. But here's the thing. I never fell for the romance of the movie. Mm-hmm. So the tension was completely lost for me. Mm-hmm. I couldn't get invested. And then when the ending happened, I was like, this was stupid. And so he even pointed out a different idea about the film, and I still thought it was dumb. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to spoil it right now, because, again, if you haven't seen the movie, you can go watch it.
Yeah.
Judge for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Yeah.
Actually saying that, I just thought of another group that I know a good majority of people in film groups are annoyed with.
Mm-hmm.
I guess they'd be called critic quoters.
Okay.
Whereas basically, I haven't seen the movie, but I saw a bunch of people say it was bad, so I think it's bad.
Really?
Yeah.
Those are people that just kind of like go with the flow. The
it's opinion. Like, oh, birds, picking at random. Birds of Prey is garbage. Why? Well, this critic says, no, what did you think about it? Oh, I didn't see it. I heard it was bad.
Yeah.
Okay, shut up.
Well, yeah, then your opinion is invalid, because how can you have an opinion if you haven't seen the movie?
Yeah, well, you can still have an opinion on a movie in a sense, but be telling people, no, you can't like that. It's, first off, you're a dick.
Yeah.
Second, you have no argument here.
Yeah. You haven't seen the movie. You kind of have to see a movie in order to argue for or against it.
And the same goes for liking a movie. It's like, well, it's considered a classic by by this Academy of Critics. Okay, what'd you think of it?
Yeah.
Well, this critic said, no, you. And I understand calling a critic, too, because sometimes they can put into words better than you can.
Absolutely.
But you also have your own input. I believe in you.
Yeah.
Eye of the Beholder, Death of the Author, all that jazz.
It's like, form your own opinion is basically what we're saying.
And you can form it by watching the film and reading critical reviews and then forming it in your head. That's what I did with Neon Demon, because before I was like, okay, this was fine. It was pretty. Mm-hmm. But I was kind of bored for the rest of it. And then reading more critical reviews, I was like, yeah, that didn't work, did it?
Oh, did some people not like it?
Oh, some people really hate that movie. I don't hate it as strongly as they do, but I
you realize you were able to listen. See, and that's just the thing. You're able to listen to their opinion, think about it, and say, "Oh yeah, it didn't work."
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Okay,
and it can work both ways too. Like, oh, this worked because this. Oh, Okay, I see where you're coming from.
Yeah, so that's happened to me with some movies. Tokyo Drifter was one of them. Because I thought it was very much just... It was kind of pointless amounts of creativity, if that makes sense. Where, okay, this is cool and weird. What's the point? And then I realized I kind of respected it more after finding out the director had literally no budget and was just told, okay, use this song. That's all you need to do.
Is that all he was told?
Mm-hmm.
I wish we could get a deal like that. Holy
the song
shit.
plays like 6 times. At the
Oh, does it really?
Yeah, 6 or 20 times. Somewhere between there.
You know what would be funny is if like they say, oh, use this song, but don't say this which version. So it could be like Edgar Wright in Baby Driver. He plays like 5 different versions of Harlem Shuffle.
Yeah. But yeah, opinion can change. Which again, going back, this is why you talk.
Yeah, this is why you talk. And the whole point of watching movies is to broaden your scope and see what works in cinema and like appreciating that, but also forming your own opinion and seeing what kind of movies you like and what kind of movies you dislike.
Yeah, and if you're seeing someone and they are enjoying a movie you hate, but you also have your reason for hating it is you've seen it done better, just suggest that movie. You don't have to say like, oh, that movie's trash. Watch this one. No, be like, oh, if you enjoyed this, you'll really enjoy this.
Exactly.
It's all about phrasing, because you're going to sound like a massive asshole if you're just like, that movie is complete and utter garbage.
Yeah.
This is the better film.
Yeah, no, exactly. Just be like, oh, you like this? Well, it takes the same themes and expands upon them. You might like
or does it a little more interestingly.
Yeah, exactly.
And also, if you're getting one of those comments, don't be afraid to go back on your opinion on something.
Yeah.
I hear that a lot with Boondock Saints, where apparently the person watched it as a teenager, and then they watched more action movies and went back to it, and they were like, oh, this isn't as good as I remember.
Yeah, exactly. Because they've broadened their scope. They've seen that done better. They've seen more action movies. So...
Oh, wait, breaking...
What'd you just think of?
Breaking flow again. There was one guy... this goes back to sort of the person who won't watch female-directed movies because it's an emotional landscape.
That stupid motherfucker? Okay.
There was someone, he was asking for calm movies.
Okay.
Because he saw something a bit too weird for his own taste. Sure.
Wait, this is the same guy?
No, this is a different person.
Okay.
And I jokingly commented El Topo. Because it's an over-the-top surrealist. The thing that annoyed me is he went, oh, sounds too Spanish.
What?
It was like...
Wow!
I know this is gatekeeping a bit, but it's like, oh, I don't watch it. I don't like to read films. It's like, okay. I remember having that mindset too. But you... Also,
I personally never had that mindset. But...
Well, I had when I was little. The same way people have the weird stereotype that black and white films are boring.
Which is stupid.
I have no idea where that came from.
I don't know either. I have no idea.
But I understand that sort of fear because I thought that too, where it was, oh, they're going to be talking so fast. But you really realize in subtitled films how little people talk in movies?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Like, you realize how much, like, films, like, pull back and hold just for shots and emotion and stuff like that, or for atmosphere.
But this dude was being a super elitist in the comments, and that was like, oh, I don't watch anything subtitled. I don't read movies. It's like...
Oh my god.
So you're going around being like, I'm the biggest film buff ever, and but you draw the line at all foreign cinema that isn't in English.
What about all the French classics? What about Italian neorealist? What about Japanese cinema? What about Kurosawa?
What about Russian cinema?
Yeah, what about Russian cinema? Exactly. Andrei Tarkovsky. I mean, you're missing out on all these directors and classics that are considered, amazing films. What's his name? French director. What's his name?
Jean-Luc Godard.
Yeah, you're missing out on all his films. Yeah, Jean-Luc Godard. I think it's Godard. Goddard. Godard.
If we got it wrong, apologies. We're dumb and American.
But yeah, you're missing out on all his films. Vittorio Sica. Sorry for the pronunciation. But yeah, all of these films that are considered classics in their own right, all around the world, not just in their country, around the world are all classics. You're missing out on all those. So you can't really call yourself the biggest film buff in the world.
I just hate Elias who have a clear hypocrisy.
Oh, yeah.
See you, bug.
Oh, is there a bug up there? What is it?
I don't know. It might be a mosquito. They only live 3 days. Who cares?
Yeah. I thought mosquitoes were 7. I think flies were 3 days.
Whatever.
But
they don't live long.
Yeah. You all right, bud?
There's just a lot.
There is, yeah.
There's a lot of people that annoy me.
Well, that's what we're here to talk about today.
Because, like you've been saying, it should be a more welcoming community, and all of these types of people just try to draw lines in the sand that do not need to be there.
Yeah. I just respect the art of cinema, and it's just, it's something that everyone should experience on their own terms and for themselves, is how I really truly feel about that. So,
also, we have Marvel on this wheel. We will have a long rant about Marvel stuff at some point.
Oh, yes, we will, because I know we've hinted at this in the past. We are not Marvel fans.
But also, just because we said we like Wonder Woman and I said I like Birds of Prey, that doesn't make me entirely a DC fan.
That doesn't mean we're DC fanboys and say, oh, well, the DC movies are the best. No, we're not like that.
I'd like to just clarify that. But no, what I was going to say is, yes, we don't like it. That does not mean every time in a film, group, or forum, someone says that they like a Marvel movie, I feel the need to fucking pounce on them and tell them no.
Yeah.
Let people enjoy things. Again, you can explain your reasoning, but the people who dogpile them going like, oh, you're a normie, get out of here with your mainstream taste.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
They can enjoy Marvel movies, and it worked the other way too. If they're trying to say, oh, well, Marvel movies are the best, highest art in the world, and you're wrong for not liking them.
Yeah, but Scorsese's an idiot, and he knows nothing about films. No, you should probably listen to what Scorsese has to say too, so you can...
Now, you're hearing us bring up Scorsese a lot, and that's just because these film buffs, they pull up Scorsese all the time. There is this raging hard-on that people have for Scorsese, and it's a little annoying, because that's always what the toxic people will bring up, is Scorsese.
There's Scorsese, there's Orson Welles, there's Hitchcock, and who else?
Francis Ford Coppola.
No, The Irishman is actually the most brilliant film of 2019.
Oh, people suck that film's dick so much.
So hard.
And if you like it, great. It just didn't look all that interesting to me. And it's 3.5 fucking hours.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I don't...
Like, I like longer movies, but my God, it's a gangster movie of a bunch of old actors in it. That doesn't look all that interesting to me, frankly.
But Cameron, they use the CGI to make them look older.
Oh, did they now?
Yes.
Lovely.
Not only are they old, they look older.
It just didn't look all... It's a gangster movie. I know gangster movies are generally not short, but still, 3.5 hours is pushing
unless they're British gangster movies.
British gangster movies are great, but we're talking more American gangster movies. But yeah, I know they're generally not short, but that's still pushing it a little bit.
A lot.
It's pushing it a lot. Like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen The Good, the Bad, and the Ugly. I've seen Lawrence of Arabia. I've seen Ben-Hur.
You've seen Love Exposure.
I've seen Love Exposure. In some instances,
Love Exposure.
In some instances of those movies, I've seen them multiple times, and I love them. It's just...
Not Love Exposure.
Not Love Exposure, no, but Good, the Bad, and the Ugly I've seen 2 or 3 times. Something like that.
Pretty long fucking movie.
It is
apparently.
I didn't realize it was 4 hours. I thought it was 3.5, but no, it's 4 hours long. It's 3:58. But yeah, I've seen Ben-Hur twice, and I've seen Lawrence of Arabia once. I have to say that. I see Lawrence of Arabia once.
I still need to watch that, actually.
Yeah, and I saw Love Exposure once. But I enjoy longer movies, but it didn't look interesting to me. It wasn't my thing. And there's nothing wrong with that.
There's nothing...
I don't have to like it just because it's Scorsese.
And also, do you feel the need to jump into someone's comments every time they mention they like The Irishman?
I know. No, I don't.
Wow. It's almost like you have some self-fucking control.
I know. It just blows my mind, really.
I wonder if we're going to get banned if you post this in the group.
I was more jokingly saying that since you were constantly saying film buffs, but...
Might do it anyway.
Okay.
We'll debate on it.
We'll debate on it. That was more of a joke. I wasn't actually being serious. But,
unless one of our lovely listeners wants to do it.
You guys go right ahead. Share us. Like us on Twitter. Or follow us on Twitter. But Like,
Roulette cinema, in case you're
yes.
wondering.
Oh man, it's just these toxic people. It's just we loathe them entirely, just because it's annoying because. Again, we worry about the new people getting into film and seeing people like this. It's negative. It turns people away is the problem. It's like, what?
Let's suck ourselves off a bit. That is also what this show kind of has, where it's like, here's a bunch of fucking movies to talk about. Mm-hmm. We're like, we're not trying to be like, oh, well, from a film snob standpoint. Yeah. No, it's just like, it's our first impressions. I don't think we're that high of a bar for someone in like film nerddom.
No, that's basically what this is. It's a first reactions podcast. We watch a movie, we give our thoughts on how the movie in general, from a technical standpoint, from a writing standpoint, and the characters. Basically, is what our three things we focus on the most, at least.
And we kind of try to look up more obscure films to spread out to more people.
Exactly. And that's the whole point. Is it's just I just worry for new people looking in on these film buff communities and trying to get into film and all that, and it's just I worry that they'll just turn them off, all these stupid people.
Yeah, that's also the backwards ass logic, where it's like, okay, we want people to stop being so normies stop being so mainstream. So our idea is to call them stupid because they watch them.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense. All you're gonna do is keep separating them. You're just keeping the line there is all you're doing.
Yeah, you need... It's a very pretentious way to say it.
Yeah.
But you need to let them gain film literacy. Yeah. And by that, you need to watch more movies.
Yeah, they're not going to get to that point if they don't watch more films. Not everyone has seen the same amount of films you have.
Not everyone has taken the same journey you have.
Yes.
I have wanted to explore cult films more because I took a cult film class.
Yeah.
And I'm more... I mean, I was already open to watching them, but now I'm even more open. I want to go to more theater screens.
Yeah. Oh, they're fun.
When things open back up. If they are open by now, hopefully.
Yeah. I think your dad just said one of the theaters did open up.
Yeah, it's going to close soon.
Probably.
But, like Francis Ha, if anyone is asking me, like, hey, what's a good cheer up movie? I'm going to suggest Francis Ha. It's a solid movie and also can help get more into that indie field of film.
Because it has a very indie vibe to it.
It's French new. It's a love letter to French New Wave in a sense.
It is.
I mean, it's called Francis Ha, and she literally goes to France. It's all in black and white.
But her name is Francis, so
yeah,
it's a pun.
It is. But that's what film community should be doing, is getting people into film, not just trying to gate themselves off, because I guess if people start liking movies, it's not cool anymore.
Yeah, well, and that's just the thing, is that, like, you bitch and moan at them about, like, oh, well, you need to watch Scorsese, and then he looks at the podcast, oh, well, they only watched it a year ago. I'm not going to listen. Well, what do you fucking want? Make up your mind.
Oh, you got to the classic. Talk to me in 20 years when it sinks in.
I know. It's ridiculous. Make up your... What, do you want them to watch it or don't you? God.
I can also piss all those people off, like, instantly.
Do it!
The last half of The Godfather is bad. It's just bad.
Anything after the assassination scene.
After the main character escapes to Italy... bad. It's boring and it's horribly edited.
Fight in the comments. Go.
No, I just wanted to piss them off.
I know.
Because I don't want those people on these videos.
No, I don't either.
Or,
it's like,
that's listening to this.
That's what he thought of the movie. Okay.
Now, are you going to be logical and ask me why the hell I think that, or are you just going to call me an idiot and move on?
Yeah.
No, you won't move on. You'll be petty.
Yeah, of course, but...
I don't know anything else really to talk about with topic-wise.
Yeah, that was mostly the toxic people that we wanted to address here, and just why we loathe them, and how we think the community should react better, basically.
Also, anyone who's spewing the sexist bullshit where it's like... diversity, that... I want people in on merit. Again, implying that they don't have merit.
That's ridiculous. Wow, fuck off. I mean, it should be obvious not to be sexist, racist, homophobic, or xenophobic, or any of that. But, It's a little hard to for some people.
Which also, it's like, well, how can you prove that they're not doing... The Academy had very strict rules on how to get in, and they lowered those rules so more people can get in.
No.
It's not that they don't have merit, it's that they want more diverse.
Yes.
They're not accepting more because they're not trying to be like, oh, we're only accepting people who are black. No, it's like, okay, now more people can apply and come in. And it so happens that more than just white people exist.
I know.
Holy shit.
Well, and here's the thing. We should be celebrating that because the Academy, since its birth, has been noticeably elitist and noticeably, racist. Yeah, it's ridiculous.
And the thing I love about the people who are mad about the diversity is they are also like, oh, the Academy isn't relevant. It's like, okay, why do you care then?
Yeah.
This is like being, oh, that book club's irrelevant, but who's in it?
It's like, why do you care if it's so irrelevant?
Yeah, you shouldn't care. Oh, is it because the normies might watch it?
I know. Oh my god. It's just so hypocritical and so stupid. It's like, yeah, the Academy has a long history of being racist. It's ridiculous. And we should be happy that they're just now getting open to being more diverse, but no, I guess not.
No, there's no merit there.
There's no merit. Fuck off. God. Yeah, I think that about covers that, yeah.
Yep, that was a fun one.
Yes, it was.
I totally wasn't just bitching for about 46 minutes.
Oh, we're at an hour too, don't worry.
Oh, okay.
But yeah, basically, it's just what it boils down to is just don't be a dick. Let people enjoy the films. I think
surprisingly, everything always seems to boil down to don't be an asshole.
Yeah, it's again, we love films and we love the art of films and how powerful films can be. And I'm just trying to end it on a more positive note here of just encourage people to watch more films. Don't gatekeep like, oh, you can't be in my club unless you've seen this film, and this film. Encourage people to branch out. Encourage people to see more foreign films. Just do that.
Yeah, spoilers. Telling someone that you can't come in until you watch this, and this. That doesn't make them want to watch it. You just seem like a dick.
Exactly. So, just basically let people watch films because they want to watch films, not because they have to.
And let them come in with open arms, right?
Yes.
Rather than just pouting that they haven't seen Taxi Driver.
Oh, no. So...
Yeah. I didn't see that till like 2 years ago, was it?
Yeah. Not everyone has seen every film ever made. Again, spoiler alert. So just let them enjoy. Let's bring people together in this community and make the world a better place instead of, walling ourselves off and being all elitist and snobby. So.
However, if you haven't watched Scary Godmother or The Revenge of Jimmy, please never watch this podcast again.
That was sarcasm for all you folks.
No,
at
it
home.
wasn't.